Here's the correspondence I got that I'd like to share with you. This is by MC, not MC Hammer, just MC. And she says, Brian Barnett, New Year's round the corner, and I hope your year will be filled with happiness and prosperity. I just want to take this moment out to thank you for all your work. I have not had a better insight into borderline personality disorder, despite having read books on the same and taken therapy for more than a year. The therapy helped a great deal for sure because it did suppress my symptoms for a while and gave me some insights as to what it is that I might be suffering through and why I've been so miserable in my own self, and I desperately needed those answers to be able to go on living. But your posts and articles has made all the difference in my life, gave me hope that the real cause of it can be treated instead of just the symptoms. It's not something inherent. I won't live with it forever, managing the mere consequences or symptoms this disorder had on my life and all the things in it, and wishing that somehow I was normal like other people and never had it. You made me see that I am normal and one of them. I don't have to strive to become anything except to regain my emotional health because I was born that way, full of self-worth. And I don't have to believe the lies anymore that led me to develop this disorder in the first place. Your recent post on why people with emotional disorders cannot share genuine intimacy despite being able to trust. Good God, I can't even explain that a chord has been struck somewhere deep inside of me. And all of your posts have had a similar effect. So this is me thanking you for having been born and for doing this amazing work and making it priceless. Well, MC, not MC Hammer, just MC, thank you so much for such wonderful sentiments. I appreciate it very much, and hope that you have a wonderful year upcoming as well. Let's talk about catching yourself, having inner dialogue with yourself that you're really not even aware of in the moment that you're having it with yourself. This comes from a Last Symptom member, JL, and this is from 12/2019. JL says, today I caught myself for the first time thinking and believing that I am in fact unlovable. It feels like I caught myself in the act. Honestly, it hurts, and I want to change this belief. Today, I don't know how to do that. And this was my response to JL back at the time of the original post. I said, catching yourself in the act is the first step. Catching yourself in the act is the first step to eliminating it entirely. But I hope he and you can see that you have to be able to see clearly what you're doing. We're talking about three different things here. What, how, and why. When you feel like things are very complicated and you start to get lost or buried under all of these things, go back to the basics. What, how, and why. These are the questions that you're trying to answer all the time when you have an emotional disorder and you're trying to get to the root of it. What, how, and why. It's really that simple. So you have to see, in this case, the person's having this inner dialogue that he's worthless or he's unlovable, which is a reflection of a perception that he has about his inherent nature, right? If you're unlovable, that doesn't have anything to do with being unloved. Unloved is one thing. Unlovable means that people couldn't love you even if they wanted to. You're incapable of being loved. You see how much more destructive that is than simply feeling like you're unloved. Same thing with worthless. It's not like you're perceiving yourself as having done something worthless. It's perceiving yourself as worthless. It's a reflection about your attitude, your true beliefs about your inherent nature. That's why it's so destructive. So you first have to catch yourself doing that. That's the what. And then you have to ask yourself how you're doing it. Then you have to answer why. Why are you doing it? When you get those answers, that's when you begin to become powerful and being able to eliminate those things once and for all. But this person who caught himself in the act of having this dialogue that you're worthless or you're unlovable, it's the same thing, caught himself for the first time, he said. And that is huge, because it has to start there. You have to be able to first catch yourself doing that, then see why. That's the what. What am I doing? I'm having this dialogue with myself. I'm trying to convince myself through this unconscious or subconscious dialogue with myself that I am worthless. That's the what. How are you doing it? Well, I'm doing it unconsciously. It's actually a conversation I'm having unconsciously with myself. Now, why are you doing that? Once you answer the why, now you're really getting back to the beginning of when this started. When did you start having this sort of dialogue with yourself? But the what, the catching yourself while you're doing it, really is important. And that's the first major step in being able to eliminate it once and for all. So if you're interested in how to fine-tune and the greater implications of what we've just talked about, you want to keep listening to the Last Symptom podcast. Join us over at thelastsymptom.locals.com, so where you can talk about it more with us. And of course, you want to take the Last Symptom Fundamentals course that's available over at www.thelastsymptom.com.